Right, let's focus now on the heavy rains and flooding that has taken place in many parts of the country. While many parts of the country are battling heavy rains, some areas are bracing themselves for the worst. Some residents in the northwest are being evacuated as fears mount of possible flooding due to heavy rains. Let's now take you to Bloemhof in the northwest, where such operations are underway, and we find there eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones, who is checking on the situation in that area. So, Pule, concerns that not only will we have heavy rains, although it's hard to believe given that, the sun is out where you are in Bloemhof, but that it belies the reality of the heavy rains that have fallen, also predicted, and the fact that people are being evacuated there.
Well, what's even true to reality is that some of the residents here have actually described how this has been the weather pattern of the past couple of days, where firstly, it's very sunny, then later on towards the end of the day, it begins to rain, and the rain is quite aggressive and very heavy. Just behind me is where we were earlier on. Just maybe if you can recap as to the kind of damage that has been caused by some of the heavy rainfall here. We were told that there was also a shack that sank just about a few days ago. And these are some of the lodges or guest houses that will be situated here, but they are non-operational as it is right now. There's been a warning issued to some of the residents here to evacuate this area, as these heavy rain floods could actually affect their businesses. And this has been the order of the day for the past couple of 2 days, since about Sunday, we're being told. And while that's the case, residents are hoping that the local governments in the province can try and assist them. We do know that about 17 municipalities have been affected, and of course about 700 households across the province. But joining us right now is the MEC for Kokta, Ms. Lina Micha. Thank you very much for joining us, Mama. So this is quite traumatizing for some residents here, and of course quite devastating. As the local government, what is it that you're doing to try and ensure that you can at least resolve this issue somehow?
No, thanks very much. I think what we must indicate firstly is that we are happy that our joint operation center responded swiftly on this matter before we can have casualties. We must indicate that people have been moved. Business people are currently occupying the guest lodges around town. But as the department, we must indicate that we are working together with the municipality and the district municipality to ensure that we guard against whatever the situation that might happen here, and assist our people in ensuring that they do get some shelter, especially those who cannot afford. But in this regard, you can see that they were business people. That's why they are able to then book for themselves, and others would then indicate. We have situations in the other areas in the same area where our own people are affected also, which then becomes the direct responsibility of government to assist them, which is a process that is currently ongoing. I can confirm that Public Works is on the ground at Extension 5, for an example, to ensure that it helps clearing the area where water can then flow in out of the area. What we must indicate is that we are aware that it has affected business people here because they can't operate currently, but it's a situation that we can't do anything about but to wait for the situation to calm down, and then they can go back to their businesses.
And we see there's been a concern of the riverbank as well that is overflowing into some of these areas here, and some of the residents are calling for actually much more critical security over that to ensure that such does not happen over time when there's heavy rainfall like this. Is it something as the local government are anticipating to resolve as the months go by?
We have established a committee which we will be together with the Department of Water and Sanitation in this regard, because we remember that the rivers and dams are the direct responsibility of a national government, Department of Water and Sanitation, which will then be looking at that matter on what is best that we can do together to resolve this kind of a challenge. And as soon as there's a clear plan on how are we going to attend to this matter, I think we'll then communicate that plan. But for now, I can indicate that is the matter that is on our table and the matter that is receiving an urgent intervention by government.
How much is the cost of this damage that has been we're seeing here? How much is it going to cost you guys as well to resolve this issue?
The one that we're seeing here, I can confirm that it goes towards close to 200 million rand. It's close to 200 million rand, and we then will be making it part of the plan on whether we will be able to fund that. If we have to fund that, where are we going to get funds, and then we'll then communicate to the nation and together with the affected people on what is it that we think then government can help them in regard to the cost relating to this.
Are you also going to look into the issue of the drainage system in this area? Because I hear on the ground from residents that this is also a situation of old systems that haven't been maintained for a while, which is causing such deadlock of water flowing over and subsequent to that going into houses and damaging property of people as well.
Of course, yes, it's already a part of the plan of the municipality to say, as part of their establishment of a new IDP plan, the issue of the drainage system must be prioritized. The municipal manager and the mayor has been briefing us that it is a matter that they already have been put on their plans to say they will have to prioritize this matter because there are shacks that are on the areas that where you can't access them in extension 5, in extension 12, where you can't access the area due to the lack of drainage systems, and that's why it's currently a plan of the municipality to say as and when they adopt their first IDP as a new sitting council, the drainage system will have to be prioritized.
Let me see, just before you go quickly and before I throw to my colleague Tulas, where can residents who are affected go to in terms of shelter? Because this is an emergency and of course some have been alerted to evacuate and they will be looking for shelter as well.
As part of the plan, the mayor has met the stakeholders around, which would include your churches. We must indicate we really appreciate the intervention made by the eNCA, where our people have, the municipality have been able to save the furnitures of our people in there, and then other people have been with their families, others with guest lodges, as we have indicated that this on its own as being a disaster, it needs all of us as stakeholders to work together and ensure that we assist each other in giving shelter to our people as government and also as stakeholders, and hence our churches have been also involved in this regard.
MEC, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Here we go. Tulas MEC Lina Micha joining us on eNCA regarding an update on the progress as to how this issue can be resolved. But as we heard there, the cost of this damage could go tally up to 200 million. So there's still quite a lot that has to be done on the ground, and residents being advised to go to some of the local churches here as they are working with the local government here for shelter as they're being evacuated.
Pule, is there a river behind you or is there a road? I'm just trying to make sense of what we're looking at.
Well, this is a road leading to some of the guest houses there. I'm just going to ask my colleague once again, Mukhumuti, to pan on my right-hand side. It's not quite clear. There's a lot of algae here blocking the scene, but as you can see, just there's a roof there where the flood had hit badly, terribly, interrupting those business operations here. We're told there's about 63 households here, and that is the kind of damage that has been caused by this flood here. So this road has been blocked by the water, and the river's just flowing right through to the end.
Yeah, all right. No, I just needed to clarify that, because when you see a volume of water like this, it's easy to get confused and not be sure whether you're looking at a river that's flowing calmly and in a still manner, or you're actually looking at a road, as my colleague there, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, shows you those dramatic scenes.